Are you okay there,
I
babe?
look like a cat.
Looks like
Okay, we're recording. Okay.
Are we actually recording?
Yeah,
right
it's
now?
recording. It's recording.
Okay, so
Let's get going, shall we?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode on Mother Tongue. We are delighted, aren't we?
we're delighted. We're really getting good at these, or so we think.
Yeah, this is what, number 3, and we're on a roll. Anyway, today we are talking all about the things we wish we'd known before we had our first babies. I feel like there was so much that people didn't tell me or I had no clue about, genuinely. Like,
So many things.
it's quite terrifying.
It is terrifying. And do you know what's even more terrifying? The fact that when we first thought about doing this video, I couldn't remember them.
No.
They didn't come back to me. But then, once I'd remembered
Once you get one.
I was like, and this, and this. And then I was like, oh my gosh, there were so many things I didn't know.
Yeah,
Like they
genuinely.
just started spiraling.
And I don't know who I blame more. My friends who already have children for not telling me, you know who you are, don't like you.
But maybe they forgot, I swear.
Yeah, this is true. I feel like our subconscious does make us forget things that
Yes.
were not enjoyable.
/ block them out.
Exactly.
Forget, yeah.
So we have more. So we keep reproducing.
Yes.
So we keep that little, world rolling.
Oh yeah, okay,
a bit.
evolution.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not go into that. Okay.
Yeah.
So right, kick us off with the first one. What did you wish you had known?
Okay, so I'm going to bring this up again because I always do. It's my favourite topic. It is the postpartum poo. The postpartum poo. I could probably write a song or a book about my postpartum poo experience.
I actually think that you should.
Maybe I should. Maybe I should make it into a meme or a meme,
Reel.
as someone.
You'd go viral with a reel on it. That's your next little task.
Yeah, my postpartum poo was not an enjoyable experience. And I remember at the time in the hospital, they were like, well, we won't let you leave until you've had your poo. And I had a poo, but my poo was like a nugget. It was like this big. And then I was like, well, I've had my poo, so therefore it's fine for me to leave. Nah, that was not my postpartum poo.
By the way, is it only here that they do that? Because I was told this from one of my friends who's now moved back to Canada. And she told me that the midwife was practically in the room with her when she was doing the poo.
Oh, wow.
And I swear this doesn't happen in the UK.
No, I actually don't know. I need to ask. I will ask. Actually, UK people, if you had to have your postpartum poo before leaving the hospital, let us know. But yeah, no, it was the second night we were home. The first night, Rafa was up all night, and the second night it was me, and I was howling like a banshee. I literally had to try and pull it out. Like, it was that bad. I was in and out of the bath, like honestly crying in so much pain, to the point that genuinely think we woke up the neighbours. Like 3 a.m. I was about to call
That's
an ambulance
awful.
and be like, you need to take me.
Burst a blood vessel.
No, because how? I don't know, but it was stuck. It was lodged in. I remember calling the pharmacy at 3 a.m. and being like, you have to send me some stuff. And they were like, take Dialax or Fibrogel. And I was like, we're so far past that point. Like,
It's in the canal.
I need something to like claws to go up there and just yank the fucker out. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So that was great. Anyway, enough about poo. You? Next.
Number
2.
So number 2, around this similar time, I would say cluster feeding.
Mm-hmm.
No one told me about cluster feeding. I even went to a breastfeeding workshop.
Yeah.
So I went, I thought, I know all about this. I had the breastfeeding consultation in the hospital. No one told me about cluster feeding. The fact that your child will feed and want to suckle on you 24/7. The first night it happened, it must have been the second night in the hospital. I remember I was just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
She's just on me, or she's screaming, and you kind of think at those first few days that they're so quiet,
No.
peaceful. I don't think Frida was ever content like that.
Absolutely never.
Right?
Never. I have friends who have these chilled babies who don't wake up for a month after they were born,
Yes.
and I'm literally like, no.
This was not
my
ours.
child.
However, I must say, talking from the perspective of someone who's had very small boobies their whole life, when that cluster feeding ended, I felt like Pamela Anderson.
I remember this. Proud of those titties.
Oh my God, proud. I've got selfies of myself on my phone. Like,
look at my cleavage.
hey, they were up here. Rock solid, although it was so sore, but regardless, I thought I'd had silicons put in.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Number 3 for me would be hormones. So actually, do you know what? So I had a bad bout of like weird hormones when I first gave birth, but it was when I stopped breastfeeding. I was kind of expecting the hormones post-birth, but I wasn't expecting them to be all over the shop quite as much as they were post-breastfeeding. It was weird. And it was around Christmas time as well, so I was literally like this. Up, down. There were lots of tears. I was literally like, this is terrible.
The festive spirit should have been coming out there, babe.
Well, that's the thing. I went from like the highest of highs to like the lowest of lows. And I mean, it was fucking awful. I hated it. Fuck those fucking hormones.
Fuck those fucking hormones. Okay, number 4 for me would be, it's okay for your baby to cry. And it's okay for them to make a noise. I think now, obviously a few weeks away from having another one, this baby will just be placed there.
Yeah.
And if they want to cry a bit and figure themselves out, I don't need to pick them up at all times. I think that was to the detriment of me sometimes, and maybe even with how Frida was with her sleeping and stuff for a little bit, because it was lovely to have her close always, but a child makes noises.
Yeah.
So I just think, don't be afraid if your child is crying or they're just figuring themselves out. They don't need to be cuddled all the time, or there's not anything wrong with them.
No, that's so true, actually. That's so true, because we are so quick to be like, oh,
what's going on? Oh my gosh, they're in pain. Oh my gosh, they're crying.
They're not.
They're
just communicating.
They are lovely.
Yeah. Okay, my next one is the first period, which, again, I don't actually know what I was expecting from the first period, but I just would say be prepared with lots of extra thick pads?
Like a maxi pad.
A maxi pad, thank you. Or like maybe a nappy, because my first one was terrible for a day. It was so heavy, so heavy. And then it actually lightened up, and everyone since has been better, to be fair. But I know some people who have had terrible periods, like the first one back. And I feel like, again, I wasn't aware that would happen. And also with the periods, I mean, they don't come straight away.
No, this is a really crucial point.
Yeah, don't have sex, unprotected sex, and think that you're like fine and safe and dandy. You're not.
Even if you're breastfeeding.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if the period hasn't come back.
Yeah,
no. Just be careful. That's how Irish twins happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's so a thing. So yeah, no, I mean, my period didn't come back until I think it was a good 6 weeks after I stopped breastfeeding.
Yes.
And then it came back with a vengeance.
I have to say, on the contrary to that, mine was actually fine.
Really?
So really case by case, but I think you need to be prepared.
You do.
For how you, what you experience, sorry.
Maxi pads.
So, maxi pads, yeah, my God, I've got those in for the postpartum bleed as well. Okay, so number 6 we're on. I would say here, you don't have to be friends with every mom that you meet.
Ah, yes, this is so true.
You don't need to feel forced just because your child is the same age and you might have a few things in common, like they're having a sleep issue or they've got reflux or something. That does not mean that you have to go on regular play dates, regular coffees, have WhatsApp conversations, they need to be your new bestie. No, if you would like that, amazing support, lovely. But I don't know, I felt at the start, I'm very fortunate, I've got a lovely group of friends, or many groups of friends here, and I'm not really, it's going to sound really bad, but I'm not that short with friends.
No.
Which is a very lovely problem to have. But I feel bad that if I've met someone that, I need to tick them off, I need to go for a coffee with them. Well, no, actually, I don't.
Because actually, if you didn't have Frida, then would you hang out with them?
No.
Exactly. That is the point.
This is the point.
You've still got to be true to you.
You do.
And actually your baby doesn't know.
And you just spread yourself too thin.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, so lovely to go and have coffees and stuff, but have the coffees with your friends because it's not just all about the baby, it's also about you having an adult conversation.
Well, more so.
Yeah.
Which is, no, don't hang out with
So,
people
yeah.
you don't like.
Cut to those people if you don't want to have coffee with them.
Yeah, just...
If I can say that.
Don't reply to their WhatsApps. It's fine. It's okay.
So sorry if I've done that to anyone. Oh, moving on.
Okay, my next one is reflux. I feel like we talk about this a lot because we both actually had reflux issues with both our babies.
Yes.
I'm not going to drum on about reflux too much because we have a whole episode on the podcast with the wonderful Alison Scott Wright, which delves into the depths of reflux, the signs, the symptoms, what you need to look out for. But reflux is a real thing. It needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be treated. Otherwise, it can really lead to problems further down the line, like ADHD, problems with ears, nose, throat,
weight gain.
Yeah, is it tonsils? Tonsils or grommets? Or both?
Or both,
I think I must have had reflux. I had my grommets removed and my
Did
tonsils
you?
removed, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, it is genetic.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I know.
All these reflux babies, yeah, good luck.
I know. My next one would be nothing lasts forever. I think in the moment you can be having a phase like a sleep issue, a teething issue, a clinginess issue, which we have had a lot of recently.
Oh, yeah.
And that's hardcore.
Yeah.
Clinginess is really, really tough because on one hand you're a bit like, oh my gosh, I keep calling Frida my koala at the moment because she's so koala-like and I love it. But then after like an hour of that, I'm like, okay, Frida, Mama needs to do some work, or I need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, or have a glass of water.
Anything.
Or have 5 minutes sitting by myself.
Yeah, and it's that guilt. So nothing lasts forever. And I've said that to you so many times because you're a few months behind. I was like, Marianne, I'm going to be brutal. You've just got to get through it. It's a phase.
That wave.
It's a phase. And it's a chapter, and he's figuring this out, and next week, or in a week or so, things will be different. And so?
Yeah, and we're coming out of the cleanliness now.
So you just need to know, sleep on it, even a day or so, you can come out, nothing lasts forever.
Exactly. I love that. I think that's also very, very important, especially for your new mamas out there. My next one is piles.
Oh! Straight in there.
Genuinely mind-blowing. Like, I did not realise that you could get piles from having a baby.
Can I ask you, did you have the piles in the pregnancy?
Yes, I think I did.
See, this is important.
Yeah, I feel like I did, but I didn't. They weren't bothering me.
Okay.
This is probably too much information, but when I was like at the last bit of pregnancy, when you're like trying to wipe your ass, it's quite hard to go around that way because the bump is so big and like you're so like you can't turn.
Yeah.
So basically, wiping your backside is difficult. And I remember it like towards the end, they were piles because they feel like balls.
Okay.
On your ass. You've obviously not had piles. They're wonderful. But it felt like I just thought, oh, maybe there's just a bit of tissue stuck there, like from the wipe. Genuinely.
I'm dying.
Genuinely. So I just kind of thought, and then they got really bad after pregnancy.
So you've got your bum hole.
Yeah.
And like a
so
big...
there's one at the top and one at the bottom. There's two.
Wow.
And they go in.
In the bum hole?
Yeah, they go in when they're happy. And then they come out when they're upset.
Stop.
Yeah, so...
Can you have them cut off?
You can have them lasered off, which I'm going to do
after
the second one, because if I get them lasered off and then they come back and they'll be really, really annoying.
It's like the tits, isn't it?
But piles, I actually wish I could give you some advice on how to prevent piles.
But isn't it because you were straining?
Well, no, because I never was that constipated, to be honest.
Oh, it's so bizarre.
It's really bizarre. But yeah, don't strain. Keep those stools nice and sloppy. Get some fibrogel. Sorry.
Movical.
Sloppy.
Oh my... Don't kill yourself.
Move on.
Okay, so my next one would be, you may need to put it in your diary to have sexy time with your husband after the baby comes.
Yes.
Because I think you're tired, the baby is up an awful lot, but it's important that you keep that spark there.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, right, here we go, let's put calendar request sent to Mr. H, 3 p.m. on Thursday, we're going to have intercourse. No, but you need to be a little bit proactive with it and be a bit like, do you know what? We need to schedule it in to an extent.
Yeah.
It's tricky. I remember having sex with Stu and Frida was still in the snooze pod and
Oh my God. Yeah, see, we never did that. I was terrified.
she was awake.
Oh my God,
And
no.
I was a bit like, she's
Oh, no.
looking at me.
No. No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's important because do you know what? The days, the weeks, and months pass by like this, and then you can all of a sudden wake up and be like, it's not even about having sex. It's about having that intimacy. So whatever you want to do, just schedule a bit of intimacy in.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
And actually that comes nicely onto my next
Oh.
point is that I don't think I was quite aware how much our relationship would change after having
Yeah.
the baby. Like it's changed definitely, like in a lovely, beautiful way. It's not any worse or better than it was before. It's just different. And we have to work at it so much harder than we used to. And I think that is, you have to work at it. I don't think you should expect your relationship to just stand the test of time if you're not going to put any effort into it.
Okie dokie. So for my next one, it's quite a practical one, but I think practicality needs to be spoken about.
Love it.
Less is more with the toys.
Oh yeah.
Less is more.
Yeah.
Because I think I went into a phase of like trying to stimulate Freda. Oh my God, she needs to be stimulated at all times.
I'm in that stage.
Everything needs to be singing, dancing, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? She gets bored of things so easily. And you should be, not you or whatever, I think it's better to be buying more open-ended toys that actually you can put them away for a month or so and then get them back out. And they're just not, they just don't get bored. Or, which is what I do, use something like Kiddos Toy Club, so then they send developmentally age-appropriate toys. You don't spend an absolute fortune on them.
Yeah.
The house is not overrun with mental toys that you need to then store away for the next child.
Yeah.
You know, be a little bit more mindful of this. But I must say, and I think you're going to say it, it's easier said than done in the moment when you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I just want to make them happy and, you know, engage them. And then you end up in bloody early learning centre dropping 500 dirham on all of this crap.
Yeah, to be fair, I also bought loads of stuff before Rafa was even born.
Oh God, my
Yeah,
man.
and actually that brings me on to my final point. I was actually going to say something else, but this reminds me. So, obviously you want to prepare for the arrival of your child, and that is fine. I'm not saying don't do that, because, you know, you need to get some things, you need to be ready. But I bought a lot of stuff, a lot of clothes in particular, and the reality was Rafa actually didn't wear that many clothes when he was small. I had no idea how big he was going to be when he came out.
Yes.
He was rather large. The amount of things that he's worn once that, you know, they might be like 0 to 3 months, and actually by 2 months he wouldn't fit into it, and I hadn't even put him in it.
Yes.
Don't overbuy clothes. I mean, genuinely, I have wasted so much money on clothes. Like, I bought some stuff the other day. I mean, Rafa's 8 months old. I bought some 12-month-old onesies, like bodysuits, and he can't fit into them. And I'm literally like, oh, there goes another 50 dirhams.
Yeah.
Classic.
Honestly, I think you
Classic.
bleed money.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need
bleed
to.
money.
They don't wear, like, genuinely, in the first year, when they're blobby and they're not walking, they don't really wear anything.
No.
I mean, Rafa is actually in a nappy most of the time at home, which
Yeah.
I love. And then, you know, he can throw shit all over himself and dribble on himself.
Especially with weaning, and it's
Oh,
hot
yeah.
here, and
Yeah.
they're comfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a really good one.
Yeah.
On the topic of nappies, for the last one, mine would be very aware of ammonia nappy rash.
Yes, oh my God, I wish someone had told me about this.
I wish someone had told me. So we
Yeah.
both experienced it. It's basically when it's such a horrendous form of nappy rash, the skin in their little bottom, and even going in either to their penis or their vagina, it's actually burnt. The skin is burnt because the ammonia is released from the body because of the teeth.
Yeah, it's so sad.
And it comes on so quick. So if you see that the children are really teething, make sure you've got like the thickest amount of nappy cream on there to act as a barrier, because we've both had it. I mean, we've sent photos of back and forth of this rash. it's as if someone has scolded our children.
Yeah, it's so bad, and they are so upset. Rafa was
Of course.
inconsolable when it
Because
first
can you
happened.
imagine having burnt skin and something touching that?
Oh, I know.
Awful.
Adam was literally like, let's get the aloe vera out. I'm like, love, I think we might need something a bit stronger than that.
when
There he
you
is with
said
the
that-
plant, like squeezing.
Oh, did he? At least it was fresh. No, I think when you told me aloe vera, I was like, oh my gosh, poor Raph. Like, I think it would kind of burn even more. Anyway, those are a few things.
Yeah.
A few.
A few. 14 top things. So,
Yes.
I mean, guys, I hope you found this useful. Here's
We
another...
wish that we'd have had this.
Yeah, exactly. Share it with all your new mummy pals, please.
Yeah.
And if you like this YouTube video, please click the subscribe button, and you can also follow us on Instagram. We can be found at We Are Mother Tongue, and then obviously the podcast. We're on all major podcast platforms where you'll find so much information. We're on season 3 now, and the content just keeps on coming. Anyway, till next time, Mother Tongue listeners, have a great day.
Bye.